It ain't nothing but mo hot shit. Another classic CD for y'all to vibe with. Whether you're cooling on the corner with your fly bitch, lay back in the shack, play this track. I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. I'll break your neck, damn near put your face in your lap. Niggas try to be the king, but the ace is back. So if you ain't up on things,
I think these guys we can shrink down because they're lower on the model. They don't need all this room. As maybe this piece does.
No more living hard, barbecues every day, driving fancy cars. Still gon' get mine because I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat.
Thanks, lad.
I still got love for the streets.
What kind of people did you bring in here, Natalie? My God.
Hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the DR representing for them gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat. And I still got love for the streets. It's the DRE. Right back up in your motherfucking ass. 05 plus 4 pennies. Add that shit up. DRE. Right back up on top of things. Smoke some with your dog. No stress, no seeds, no stems, no sticks. Some of that real sticky.
In my home, sweet home, I keep chrome next to my bones. Alters my walk to limping. Since I love the feel, I guess I'm passionately pimping. It is what it seems. That thing
That's
is running
awesome.
through the seam of my jeans. By all means, lost it all from life to love. But my faith and my money helped me rise above. See, I turned to the Lord when them times got tough. Bully through the streets, powder I pushed and shoved.
All right.
Out of 10 niggas, 9 a guinea. No money, all they know is gimme. Got semis waiting. Heat like Caribbean.
This is gonna be tough to mirror, especially because we have the high poly already done. I mean, like these two tips, and we don't have the cuts going along the same areas. But we can fake it with, we can copy and paste some of the things with some careful. Yeah, I think I can do. Yeah, I think we'll mirror this bottom piece with this one right here. Since I don't think that was that detailed anyways. Yeah, there's not a lot of detail here. We can cut that shit out. Oh, let's go ahead and cut it. Cuts must be made. Check this out. It's really easy to cut in Softimage. Switch to polygon selection. Grab all these guys. And we hit T and we just pull it away. And that'll be mirrored. Whenever, and that'll be mirrored up here. We'll match it later when we do the texture. So now we can lose this texture along with this thing over here. Get out. Put it up here. Jesus, we have a lot of shit to fit in. Getting closer though. Very cool. The second thing. Under it. Under that thing. Marceline. And there's one with Lady, the girl version of Ben, and the cat that goes up. Then the volume 3 of just. Oh, TV Dotto, Thiago, man, you should have seen our head UVs, man. Check this out. Check out these UVs. So freaking tight. A lot of cuts everywhere for the scenes, and we're able to hide them really well. I'm really happy how this guy came out with the UVs cut up everywhere and still looks good. And gave us so much more resolution. But it holds up in game, all these details, really good. Put a lot of time into it the other night. Was it last night or the night before? I forget. Oh yeah, man, that was good. See if we can come close to being as good as those reviews on this guy. They saying stupid ass niggas still ain't figured it out. Long as they stay divided, man, we gon' run aside. Y'all need to get up off the dumb shit. I got a bread truck, get up off that crumb shit, nigga. Throw a little sword and sorcery on. Oh crap. Oh, I can't find it. I have to look for it later. Put in a little bit of tiny and big soundtrack. Go. Alright. Alright, back to the UVs. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's the mirror. Whoops. You shouldn't be there. Oh, we haven't wrapped it. Oh, we'll do that later. Hey, friend Frank, welcome to the Live Workshop. If you missed the texturing for the face, most of it will be, I'll place it on the broadcast section on the website at liveworkshop.com. And you'll be able to see it. I didn't stream it all because I did some of it in the morning and some of it really late, and some of it I just had to move really fast, so I couldn't be on the stream while doing it. But it did capture most of it, so you'll be able to hopefully learn a lot from it. What is this piece? Oh, it's this guy. Reselect it. There we go. Okay, this will take a while, but it'll be worth it once we get it. What are we looking at here, first of all? Let's hide the high poly stuff. Oh yeah, sorry, I just saw your question there about the eyes. Let me throw them back on here. Another high poly. Oh, the avatar. Yeah, I textured a glow coming from the eyes onto the texture by hand. So I knew where the cuts were, and I kind of went along and softly brushed in the highlights where I thought the light would hit and where the light would omit. You know, like this little corner with shadow down here, and same with this one, we cut it off here, etc. So we made a nice little glow out of that. And we'll make a self-illumination mask for when we get it in game, so that when he's in the dark, those eyes will still be 100% visible, and everything else will be way darker. It'll work out pretty good, I hope. How much time do I spend per character? Oh dear, I don't know, man, I jump around all over the place. But if I was to work 8 hours a day per model, or per set, I should say, with everything, the rigging and the model, and if it's kind of complex, it could take up to 3 weeks. Including like a render and the thumbnails and everything. I mean, there's a lot of process to these models. the back side to this too. Wondering if we should just mirror the front to the back actually. That's probably smarter. Let's try and mirror it. We're gonna mirror from here. Whoops. Here. That's 1, 2. Crap. One too many. Three lines versus 2 lines. Oh, actually, we can do this. Where are these parts? Oh, we need another polygon there to be able to mirror that. Oh well, let's just mirror this stuff over here. Mirror all this shit. Probably mirror one more actually. Oh man, we're getting away with murder here. I mean, the only thing we're gonna lose out on is having that area darker because it's really close to the back. So some self-illumination would actually make that darker. But screw it, it'll be better to have it, to have the UV space. You showed me some of your work and I gave you credit on it. If you show me the art piece that I create, I would totally remember you. Yak? Hello? Alright, we're gonna detach these guys now. And remove. Wait, we're missing something. What is that? Oh, that's the inside, I think. One of these insides. What is this? Something else.
As we enter, come the take upon the biggest adventure. Must be dementia that you ever thought you could touch our credentials. What's the initials? UB Jamrock, the lyrical official. Send out the order, laws and the rituals. Burn candles, say prayers, big heroes. It is truth, we big news, we hood heroes. So as the anchor, we come to bunker. Man a bad man, we not play Willy Wonka. And I got the guns, I got the ganja, and we can blaze it up on your.
Oh, you're talking about the gradient from the tutorials on the website? No, I start from the ambient occlusion mask. Or map, sorry. And from that, I then start. Wait, why is that there? Hold on 1 second. Trying to figure out which way this map goes, or this edge. Oh, we should be going the other way. There we go. Okay. So this triangle over here is the one floating, I think. Yeah, there it is, that one. But we can't mirror that guy, so that's okay. Just have to find where those triangles go. And why they're floating. I think they'll turn over to the front. Somewhere. Oh, on the inside. That's why we can't put them right next to each other. Okay, well they'll just have to be floating, I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be true. That's okay, we'll figure it out. No, not to worry. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so I remember this is the model you showed me a while ago, and I was giving you crits on the anatomy more than anything, because that's what you needed to work on the most. How long have I been doing 3D modeling? 15 years professionally. Alright, so all these guys are gonna be mirrored, is that right? And this tip is actually gonna be mirrored from the other side. Man, we're making a mess here. But look at all these that we're losing out, or taking out. This is backside. This is backside. Can actually join these guys. There we go. Okay. Thanks a lot, Poor Headrun. And welcome to all the guys that just joined the lab workshop. Right now you'll be wrapping the in-game low poly version of the model from this detailed ZBrush mesh that we created earlier today. Alright, let's see. Wrap my head around what we're doing here. This is the bottom that's gonna be mirrored, the top that's gonna, oh god. Top that's gonna be mirrored. Alright, how about we put our mirrors on the left side and then not mirrored stuff on the right side. Keep our shit straight. This is the back side that is also gonna be mirrored. Back side is gonna be mirrored. Okay, this is the left side, this is the right side. This is also the left side, okay. This is the tip. The tip or the front? There's the front and the tip, okay. Right. Cool, okay, and this is the front. That will be mirrored on top of this guy. And this is the right side of the left one that's gonna be mirrored, which is this side, which is also gonna be mirrored down the X instead of the Z. So we have mirrors going across all sorts of ways, and I'm trying to juggle all that stuff in my head right now while we place this shit around. But I think we'll be okay. Because these guys are mirrored on top. And these guys are mirrored on the back. So these are the Z mirrors, and these are gonna be the Y mirrors on the X and Y and Z axis. Hello, Imac, and a happy Meepo Kappa to you, sir. Yeah, Frank. What I actually do is I model the low poly first. Then I make a mid poly out of that, bring that into ZBrush, make all the detail into it, make a super high poly version, decimate it. bring it back into XSI or Softimage, then fit my low poly around that if it changed a little bit on volumes. Then after I do that, I export both the low poly and the high poly onto X normal. I bake the normal map and the ambient occlusion mask, bring those into Photoshop, start painting the color textures, clean up my normal maps, clean up my ambient occlusion maps, make sure that if they're looking good on the model. What's next? Make the masks for the specular, the specular mask, the reflection, well, the reflective is the same. The specular color, what other ones are there? The roughness, which is how big the specular is gonna show up, so that'll give it the metallic or the more matte look, like stone and cloth and those kind of things. There's also a rim lighting mask for extra little highlights. You usually use those like on skin or on, not on metals, on things you want to kind of pop out. Skin's usually the mostly used section for that stuff. Then we export the model after it's textured onto Maya, which we then rig onto a skeleton, and then we export that as a FBX, and we import the FBX into Dota, where we compile it with all the textures and the mask 1, mask 2 normal map and color map that we created, and we check it in game and see how those materials and the texture and the rigging and everything works together. And once that's done, we can make some avatars or the little thumbnails, so you can show each icon for when people surf through it on the workshop, and then we make a marketing illustration render piece for it, which I spend a lot of time on to make it look really, really pretty. And then you submit it into the workshop, and then you have your set in the workshop. Why don't I polypaint? I don't like polypaint. I'm really used to Photoshop and all the techniques that I developed for Photoshop. And it's faster, in my opinion, than polypainting. Polypainting is good because you don't have to worry about seams as much. So you can use polypaint for that, you know, if you have to fix a couple of seams here and there. But it's also good for painting bouncing light, but you miss out on a lot of tricks that you can do in Photoshop that you can't do by just polypainting shit.
Only talking with winners, a loser or two. Got my number still, they think they real, but they just really awfully bitter. Salty niggas hate the smarter ones. These are the dollars.
Wow, my voice is going.
I barely made it out the slums. My value high.
Alright, where were we? Alright, fucking Maryland over here. So these are the mirrors on the back to front, and these are the mirrors from left to right, which is the x-axis, and these are the z-axis. And then over here we have our little details that we still need to fit somewhere, so we'll keep these guys on the bottom, and we'll keep these guys on the top. And this is, what is this? Oh, this is what we were going to cut and put somewhere else in the model. It was going to be cut right across here, I think. So let's see if we actually need to do that. I think I'm right on this one. Let's see. Oh yeah, right across there. So we'll just pull this guy apart right there. And if we need to, we'll find a place for him somewhere else and scale it down, since we rarely see that part of the model. It's not as important as the top part. So we'll keep more resolution on those guys. Alright. Take a 2-minute break, quick washroom break, and we'll come back and we'll continue placing some of the UVs into our Tetris puzzle, guys. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
From backstabbers, turn to tears faster. I wish for you, no snake shall slither past you. You have to keep your vision clear, cause only a coward lives in fear. My surroundings got only real powerful niggas here. Real men, we have a code of ethics. No question, no jealousies, no feminine tendencies we expecting. No gossip, no phony logic, no counting your homie pocket. Spare no expense for legal defense if your homie locked up. No keeping tabs on who was the last who looked out. Selfishness, that's a character flaw, no holding out. Yo, what happened to the honor? You're dealing with sensitive prima donna drama. Teflon love for my dudes who solid. Real friends that serve you love. Your memory is my real friends will serve you long, sunshine or rain. Your real friends will serve you long. When all is well, real friends won't do you wrong. Real friend don't change. 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 Tougher than concrete, there boy. Balaba juice, watch out, check it, boom. You know what I mean? Me dip out a whole 14, know what I mean? And reload my next magazine, know what I mean? And moon did them housing scheme, know what I mean? Tougher them a move sideways and lean, know what I mean? Can't come out when Monday in, know what I mean? We not like them colonial regime, know what I mean? Ethiopian not like Mussolini, know what I mean? Me queen up the rock and come in, know what I mean? And jump on that big trampoline, know what I mean? And boost up our self-esteem, know what I mean? If I want the home and kitchen so clean, know what I mean? And which recipe that I steam, know what I mean? The lyrics them a flow like a stream, know what I mean? Make you feel like you're living in a dream, know what I mean? It come to the crap, man, a cream, know what I mean? It come to discipline, man, a dean, know what I mean? Me tougher than a home and limousine, know what I mean? We step in, we fresh and we clean, know what I mean? I burn the stinkers of green, know what I mean? Better listen up careful and keen, know what I mean? I put on as a rock and come in. We celebrate like I finished probation, boy. Naughty head with no chaser, boy. From the mouth, I can spit out a razor, boy. Open up your facial like your boy Roy in his prime. Eat food dinner time, junior gong past beginners. Handle business, black velvet sippers. Females never bid us farewell, they with us. Cause we arrive on the scene just like a high beam, nah I mean. Don't let us have to make the nine scream, nah I mean. At your racial policing regime, nah I mean. Spiritual like an Elohim, nah I mean. In a casino or a yacht, wherever I'm seen, my brothers and sisters are never forgotten, nah I mean. Don't wanna hear another soldier drop, nah I mean. Another dope addict is shot with the morphine, and feds are indicting my block, nah I mean. They wearing reds from their shoes to their top, nah I mean. I'm wishing that all the violence would stop, nah I mean. When I like this song, I siren, nah I mean.
Alright, we're back.
Like ice cream, nah I mean. From a boy make the feds intervene, nah I mean. We send a war go take in traffic, nah I mean. Parabellum them a itch up in a spleen, nah I mean. In a Queen's gunman reign supreme, nah I mean. Kingstonians are real blood fiends, nah I mean. The world is a big crime scene, nah I mean. Yo, Mr. President.
Hello, Shotgun Wine. Welcome to the stream.
Yo, Mr. Minister. Why you being sinister? Hey. Yo, Mr. President.
That's awesome, Sly. I'm glad you're better at modeling now than in Dota. That's cool. Have a good game, dude. Alright, let's see where we at. This is becoming a lot more plausible now, huh? Yeah. Oh god. Well, I move these guys in a way that I can make them all merge together, even though they're overlapping each other a little bit right now. Not too worried about it. Pretty sure I'll be able to knock those guys out. Why aren't these guys merging? Oh, they're actually separated over here for some reason. There we go. Well, those guys, and now we can heal these guys. There we go. Cool. And we'll go into object mode and it'll show all our UVs back into the UV window. Hey, we're in the front page. About time, man. All day we can get on the front page. There's too many tournaments for StarCraft and all these things going on. That's awesome though. Glad we're on there finally. Even for a little bit. Sure, we'll get knocked off in a couple minutes. Okay, so which piece do we actually need to have on here? I think it's just this guy. Yeah. This guy needs to fit, and then 1 and 2 of the straps if we're really lucky. So let's keep this 2 squares down at the bottom so we'll worry about them from now. And
so anytime them see the progress, them must celebrate. Because we're rising up despite of the economy. And then now we are starting show like the astronomy.
this is gonna be tough.
Because we keep remaining true without apology. The mission of we carry through and finish properly. Say Gambia to Guadeloupe, Paris to Napoli. Say Zambia to Honolulu, back to Tripoli.
Even if I bend it in the area, it's gonna be kind of tight fit. Maybe up here. I move it around a little bit. I can probably fit it in there. That's quite possible, actually. Right there. Now we have this play. There's all this room for 2 of these. Not 3. Where's the 4th one? Oh, I already fit the other one. Awesome. Okay. We have one in. Okay. So we need to fit 2 of these if we're lucky. Looking quite rough. Probably fit one of these guys down here. And the other one, if we chop it up, we can fit it in there. And then this guy doesn't matter where it goes because it's just a black stick. And then it's just our coin. We're gonna do it, guys. This is gonna fit. Pretty sure. And then this guy can go. This one will be mirrored from the middle guy or the top guy. Which one looks cooler? Like that middle guy is really plain, which is actually probably a good thing. And I don't like what I did here at all. We need to redo that part. That's freaking terrible. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, I already disseminated that shit. Alright, that's fine. We can actually just copy some of this stuff and paste it on top. In in Photoshop. Oh, look at that coin. A beautiful coin. Thank the stream for the coin and for the Dota logo down here. That was really cool. Really good ideas, guys. Frank, do I do this full time? Yes, sir. I run the lab workshop and I make models for Valve and for Dota 2 and for Team Fortress 2. You still can see how it's gonna fit, Darpo? Watch me, man. Watch me pull this shit off. We got this, man.
Ooh, baby.
So this guy is probably gonna be mirrored. This bottom guy, we are also gonna lose. So these are mirrors we're not gonna use. And where do we put those other guys?
And rappers out to dethrone me. For they crown, their head is cut off. Bodies is laid dead in the street. It's so fucking pitiful. First they love you, could be the bitch that even lived with you. Mad at your riches, now she switched, turned miserable. Cause she wanna dress like Bonnie, Robin, and Crystal do. Well, Crystal single, Bonnie's broken, her niggas
these were
too.
mirrors?
I can do bad by myself.
Okay.
Went from rags to wealth.
We'll put them over here with the other mirror stuff.
Plenty ass bitches can't keep their
This is the
hands
back
to
mirror
themselves
stuff.
no more. I'm like Hugh Hefner, you lesser, you just wanna be me. You can't, you faggot, you bitch, you
music got a
coward,
bit loud, sorry,
clown,
guys.
you just wanna be down. See you wanna
There
be
we
me, you bitch, you phony, you clone me, you wanna be me, son. I'm the one and only, but you wanna be me. You suckers, you weak, you flunkies, you fake. You couldn't come close on my worst day, but you wanna be me.
You don't think I'm gonna do it? I'll fit it in.
This might profess and turn your direction. You can't be me. Not in your wildest fantasy. It's challenged. Should I have to resort to violence? Pay me $500,000, I'll consult your album and show you how to stay off my dick. That's the thing I hate the most. Can't even call you a man when you gotta call out my name to get you some fans. No talent, you need direction. You a pussy with a yeast infection. You unlucky, I'm your fucking C-section. Plus I'm the last real nigga alive. Toast glass ill, will the label get high? Realize how many classics I gave you. Perhaps if you think back, you'll realize that I made you. Wanna be me? You can't, you faggot, you bitch, you coward, you clown. You just wanna be down, so you wanna be me. You bitch, you phony, you clone me, you wanna be me. Son, I'm the one and only, but you wanna be me. You suckers, you weak, you flunkies, you fake. You couldn't come close on my worst day, but you wanna be me. I burn you and learn you a lesson concerning this. Might profess and turn your direction, you can't be me. I'm trying to walk a straight line while they trying to take mine. I'm past 8 miles of every state line, eating alligators and hummingbird hearts at the players ball. Briani suit, sharpers watch.
You know what? You guys don't like Nas? We can put something else on.
Place. Evil is Hitler's hate race. People, this is God's son.
See what we got, what we got.
From the garden of pure peace to represent the streets. You'll see that my plan is not to destroy a man, but to bring more to mankind and
Little
teach
Carbon Palace.
every MC reach for your pens and papers. Let's
Right. Yeah, I guess rap or older rap does use way too much homophobic shit. You're right. At least Nas does, but yeah, you're right. Alright, man, I'm open for some music recommendations. If you guys don't know, this is Carbon Palace. Pretty funky, pretty cool stuff. Go for a generator, why not? Check this out, because we put those seams there, we can cut any of these guys up any way we want. So it'll make it easier for us to fit stuff in. And I think that's exactly what we're gonna do here. Grab these guys and just go whoop! Oh crap, no! I put on the proportional. There we go. Back hairpiece might need to be mirrored as well on top of the other hairpiece there. Or somewhere. Not sure where. What the? Oh, that's self-selection again. I find what that shortcut I set up for it is. Killing me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take that. Give it off. When you're UVing, you have the tendency to scale the UVs into to scale the UVs to fit properly into one area. That's wrong, right? It can be wrong. It can also be right. If it's an area of the model that is not seen as much as the other areas, for example, if we're making like this bottom tile down here, and it's the same size as maybe a tile up here on top of the head, and you're always looking at this tile on top of the head, or most of the times what are you gonna see in the game, then grab that small one and scale it down and then fit it into that location if you can. So that would be an example of a good time to do that. How many polys can I use maximum per item? It's per character dependent, per hero dependent. So here, you can see in my exercise scene, I've set up all the information for all my items, so I can just reference them right there and the texture size below them. So we have like the item name, we have the avatar version, like the poly count for the avatar version, the poly count for the in-game version of the mesh, and then the texture size that the texture has to be for that item. And that texture will fit both the low poly and the avatar version. So that's kind of tricky sometimes because, you know, if you UV map all these extra polygons into your avatar one and then your low poly one doesn't have it, it can be really tricky fitting them all into the same UV space. You see this one's way less polygons than this one. 400 and 600. See up here. So there's that. Automate UVs. Yeah, that'll be great. No problem, Fairy. You're welcome, man. Hopefully you can use it. Speed up your workflow. Alright, let's go back to Tetrising the shit out of this. I want to get more room for the coin so I can scale it up. Alright, let me take a stab at explaining it. So say you have a 2D mesh, and then you have your high polygon mesh. You can see here with all this extra detail from ZBrush, from this program. See all the detail on here? All this detail, we're gonna bake it down with using normal maps onto the in-game mesh model that has obviously way less polygons, and the engine can then, you know, run more heroes and do all sorts of more things with less polygons because it's less memory that the engine has to take account for and light and render and everything and move and rig and everything, right? Animate. So in order to bake this detail in a normal map and a name occlusion mask, which is like a shadow map, all these little crevices where shadows would appear, we need to UV wrap the low poly mesh. UV wrapping is like grabbing these polygons in a flat area and unfolding them, you know, like a t-shirt if you took away all the seams, and having those surfaces lay flat on a table, which is a texture. And then once they're flat, you are able to then texture and put on the normal map and the occlusion mask that we take from the high poly, and that's what wraps around your model in the game to give them both the color, the normal map, and all the other masks that you create for it. So yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, so you guys took a stab at explaining too. Okay, there you go. Be super clear now, right? Oh, we're overlapping here quite a bit. Whoops, what happened here? This sounds terrible. I'm not taking this guy into account? What happened? Did I select something I shouldn't have selected? Oh, I got everything. What is this piece? Oh, the mirror. Yeah, there you go. I remember seeing this game. Huh. Okay, that would be a problem. Right on, Jackie's cool. We can probably mirror these guys. Maybe. Oh, I have stream there. Shit. It still work. Just this end piece would look a little weird, that's all. Unless I fold that into the front. Okay, that might work. Whole thing could be mirrored. Alright, let's see if I can mirror it. This guy can fit somewhere else now. And we can detach it in the same spot. Guy in here. Hide this high poly stuff, it's slowing us down. Yeah, you're right, Generator. I totally could stack a couple of those guys. I did that already for this tiles up here. And I don't want to mirror top to bottom because we have a coin on this one. And then these two guys, we lose the middle row on the left side. So the left side is going to have 2 rows. So it's less polygons, so we fit within the 800 polygon limit for the entire back slot. So we mirrored all that, and we mirrored half of the tiles already. So if we mirror one of these rows, I mean we could, especially because the bottom row is being, most of it will get occluded by the chest, by the legs. We're gonna have this like big kind of medallion thing there. So maybe this bottom, well actually no, we can't use the bottom for the top. Well, shit, we could, but we might miss out on a bit of a shadow there, which I guess, all things considered, wouldn't be the worst thing. This bottom guy's mirror up here. Whoops. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but let's see if that's... I think that's our last resort. We would gain this space down here. And it would be distorted a little bit because this guy goes in a different way too. Actually, how distorted would that be? Might not be able to do that. This UV's finish at the end of it, and this guy's finish way before it. But that's okay, we'll be able to hide that a little bit. This is more questions. Hello, Gagoop. Welcome to our Twitch channel. It would be nice to have those unique, but maybe killing them's the best thing to do. The modeling bug. Go for it, man. Make the models. Maybe we can squeeze these guys down. We would be able to scale them up. It's gonna give us room for the coin up in here somewhere. And then these little guys. Maybe we could kill these guys out too if we lose that bottom guy. Probably is the best idea. Why can't I increase the black box to fit everything in? Because, well, I mean, I can make that box bigger, and that means these guys will just get smaller and I'll be able to fit them in. But the smaller I go with these pieces, imagine each one of these squares is 1 pixel of resolution, and I only have 256 by 256 squared of pixel space, because that's the memory limit that we can import this texture for this item into Dota, otherwise it won't let you. And that's a memory limit set by Valve so that they can fit the entire game's textures into memory so that the game engine can run it, otherwise it'll just crash and run out of memory, and that's one of the limitations for making games, right? So the smaller I make these, the less squares of pixels that this piece is gonna have. Less pixels means less colors, and less pixels means less detail. So I could make everything smaller and fit it in there, but then my texture's gonna look like total crap. So the bigger I make these pieces, the more detail and the better my texture's gonna look than anybody else's. Granted that I do a good job with it, I'm just, you know, if you're able to do that, you know, you have your texture with less space wasted and with bigger space for more pixels, then you're gonna have more detail than other people's textures or other textures in the game. We're getting close though. Oh, excuse me. And it's 3 AM. Gotta go to bed soon. Let's figure these UVs out first though. No problem, Nat. Ah, my little circle wouldn't even fit in there. Or coin. Coin! Just bite the bullet and lose that piece, I guess. Triangle's gonna look weird. Oh well. This line's gonna look really weird. Whole triangle part. Because this won't be mirrored. Actually, where does that even join? On the black, and if this is mirrored up here, it's gonna follow this edge, up tile and blank spit off the underneath. Okay, that could work. Let's just move this guy over a little bit though. And we'll have to clean it up on the texture map later too. Hey Lemon, what's up? Hello Tank Bust. We're using Softimage right now. because I did have the right spot for it before. We might be able to put it in here. All we need to do is lift up this guys a little bit. This is the bottom part, which is not as important. Light our high point. Look at our low poly again. Right here. Stretch these guys out a little bit more, I think. Okay. No. Well, the only, this is what we're doing. My voice. All these guys that I placed on the outside, all these guys are gonna be mirrored on top of some of these pieces in here. In a really clever fashion. And these guys are gonna be mirrored on the Z, which are the back sides of the hair. They're gonna get mirrored with the top sides of the hair. So I gotta place them, where's the tip of the... over here. Kinda like this part will go over here. Then this part will go on top of that as well, because it's the back of the front. And then this top piece is gonna go... what top piece is that? Oh, the top piece will go right up here. So I'll go up. There you go. Oh, back side. This is the other back side. And the top of the back side. So these all get put up here somewhere. This one on top, that one on top, and then this one up here. But we'll do that after we bake so that we match it really nice. What's up, Peace? Yeah, man, we're killing these UVs. Telling you. That's the top. The top's more important than the bottom, so we're gonna grab the bottom, which happens to be on the top right now on our UVs. And we're gonna shrink that area because it's not as important. And that will give us enough room between those polygons. Now this bottom one, let's find it. Which one's the top side? That's the top, so the bottom is actually the bottom. Oh, it's easier. Right here. And we're gonna shrink that a little bit as well. We won't really see it. All we're really using it is to, so when you go in a flat zoomed in mode, you see something there, but you don't have to see the detail for it. That little bit should give us enough room to pull this guy down. And this guy down a little bit as well, and have enough vertices or pixels to not have them compress and eat into each other when it gets compressed in the game. And then these top guys we can actually start merging together. Whoops. Let's save this in a different file. I feel like we're missing a big piece here. Did I fit them all in? Jesus. That's actually really cool if I did. Thank God I did. Oh, these guys are gonna be cake. I can't go anywhere. I mean, I can even mirror the crap out of this though. Out of two of these guys. Which one's the front? Where's the front? So we can mirror these two guys. Whoop. Actually, it can be even easier than can just go. Put this guy anywhere, really. Mirror. I actually have space left over, you guys. Each item is its own texture file, yeah. And its own mask 1, its own mask 2, its own normal map. How much longer will I stream? Well, it's 3 AM. Well, 3:15 AM. So I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. I just want to finish this UVs, and we'll start baking all that detail from here onto our new UVs and low poly stuff. And that will be really cool to see tomorrow. We're just gonna finish this puzzle. It's coming along really, really well. Oh, I don't really want to bend that guy there. See what we can do with this guy. I have to find a new location for this thing. That weird spot. It'll work. Now this guy's really tough to pick. Do I have a seam right here? If I have a seam right there, I can cut it. Nope, the next one. Oh, not even at the next one. Shit. Well, it was a good try. A really good spot for this guy, but then this guy is just such a weird shape as well. Cut her across the top there, but no, I don't want to. Just get straight. What if we... This is gonna add another layer of complexity, but mirror it. Fit it on here. And that would be an easy fit somewhere else. One more space for that coin though. Hello, Emilkin. The live workshop welcomes you, sir. One more space for that coin. It's a good flip though. Gives a lot of space. Even get more space out of it actually. I angled it. More space for the coin there, both ways. Or whatever. Still flip though. That means I would have to flip this guy's horizontally so that they're mirrored on top correctly because I mirrored this guy already. Oh, it's gonna be a fucking mess, but okay. If we can squeeze more space out of this guy over here. I think we can. We just move this guy over a little bit. Getting crazy. We're gonna do those triangles last actually. But we'll keep them up here just to know that we have to do them. Yeah, somebody could, and they have, and it does suck because it never actually uses. It's never clever enough to, you know, do these kind of tricks that we're doing right now. And on top of that, the program wouldn't know which pieces to that you would want mirrored, and which ones you could put on top of each other, and which ones you could like offset a little bit but still mirror, or which ones you wanted to flip over and kind of like fake. And there's a lot of tricks that would just be that a machine wouldn't know how to do. This sucks fun. Alright, where is this part here? The inside. Okay, we don't have to worry about this guy too much. Let's squeeze it down, maybe that. No, maybe more this direction. Compensate by making this that a little bit bigger, maybe. That's a little bit more texture space. Because Softimage is a better modeling program than Maya. Age-old question. Too mainstream. Oh man, look at this free space over here. What to do with it? Custom straps? Another coin? Maybe I could split this coin and put half of it somewhere else and scale it up maybe. That would be so crazy though. That is the best spot for that coin. Could move the straps. But then there'd be a pain in the ass to paint across highlights and things like that. It's already separate, I guess. Well, there's one thing we can do to fake the proximity of it. Show you guys a trick here. First, we need to grab this guy and make it its own model, okay? And we're gonna do this. Whoops. Perfect. can I just mirror the straps? No. The straps actually lie in different places on the coin. And mirroring them and getting to jump because they're not like holding on to any polygons because our poly count. They're actually floating in space. So right now they're matching perfectly the UVs. But we don't have any more polygons to actually put verts in there. If I had verts, I'd be able to texture them across fairly easy. But we have the high poly here to take into consideration. And where those straps actually meet. And where they end. It would be crazy to get the normal map to line up perfectly and all that stuff. And even if I mirror that, I mean our coin's not gonna get much bigger. But good thinking, man. I mean, maybe you can mirror this side and just the one square. But man, we're getting really greedy now on space. But yeah, I mean, our coin would get bigger that way. A little bit. At that. Good call, man. Mirror this little square. Actually, we don't have to mirror it, we can just throw it over here. I mean, all we need is for that space to be together so that when we do like highlights and stuff across the strap, it's already there. We don't have to attach anything. We could even like pull this guy off too if we want it. No, well, we won't have any more vertical space. We can just leave that guy there. Yeah, that's good.
Deep, so deep red on your cheeks. When you
Triangle times. Triangle time.
missing little lights, spotting little lights, let you rise up, shadowy, uncertainty and revelry on what you wish to have done, what you really did. Once your memory's gone, death and rid my willing flesh.
Good job, man. Here's our front strap that. Oh, we need to clean this area quite a bit. I say. Oh. Now we gotta clean this guy up here. Got me a pain in the butt. Guess we could cut it and put it somewhere else. Little triangle here. Oh. I don't want him, but we're gonna have to cut him. That almost fits. That'll work.
Death and rid my willing flesh. Ah, the night, alright for you. A magic fly and a widest right, ended with the night.
Almost there, guys. Straps to go. Can mirror a lot of these too. And they can be much smaller as well. We put this big one first. It's got really it's so big. Hey Eric, and welcome to the stream, man. This is gonna be my texture space for it. If it's not in the texture space, then it's not gonna. It's gonna start mirroring. This is all the pixels I have to fit in the UV map for the mesh pieces. Oh, you're not married? Why'd you grab that? And that is how we finish the UVs for the torso for this Juggernaut model. At least the ones that are not mirrored. Mirror ones we'll have to throw on top after we do the bakes tomorrow. But holy shit! That took us a long time and the brain is dead. Oh, look at that, man, we fit them all in there. Pretty crazy. Oh my god, I can't believe we did that. The black space is not used for anything, just, you know, the mesh that you have on top of it is gonna get textured. If you have a lot of open space, it means your meshes are gonna be smaller. So your resolution is gonna be less, because you're using less of the pixels. I got lucky, yeah, this time. Oh, alright, that actually deserves a tennis coach. Successful tennis coach approval. Approved by the tennis coach. And or Sean Connery. Watching tennis for some reason. Anyway, he approves. And I approve. And this UV approves. And this crazy ass horseman approves. And with that, we're gonna save our file. We're gonna show you guys our ZBrush sculpt really quickly. There's some new people that just joined. We were watching the tail end of the broadcast today. And we're gonna close ZBrush. And it's gonna take a few minutes to close because it's ZBrush. And we're gonna show you guys our imported mesh from ZBrush, decimated, which we're gonna bake tomorrow into this guy. And after we bake it,